Hello class 10th. Today we are going to start with new chapter 9, the national movement 1935 to 42. Today's topic are introduction, Cripps mission of 1942 and its failure, the Quit India movement and the rising of 1942. We will discuss the following points. So the objectives of today's topic are failure, rejection of proposals, reasons for launching the Quit India movement, spread of the Quit India movement, government's reaction to it and its repression. Now we will discuss some key terms. Number 1, interim government. It means it is frequently organized following a revolution or sudden death when there has not been time to nominate, designate or elect a government formally. Number 2, dominion status. It means it was constitutional term of art used to signify an independent commonwealth realm. Number 3, post-dated check. It is a check on which the date mentioned is of a future date. The national movement 1935 to 42. The years between 1935 and 1942 saw many developments in the national movement as well as in the international arena. Based on the discussions held at the Third Round Table Conference, the British government passed the Government of India Act 1935, introducing changes in the administration of India. The Act did not wholly satisfy the nationalist leaders. So many developments took place in the national movements and at the international level in the year 1935 to 1942. The British government passed the Government of India Act 1935. Under this act, provisions were made All India Federation with British India, territories and princely states. This act ended the provincial diarchy and introduced the diarchy at centre. But this act did not satisfy the nationalist leaders. Elections were held in 1937 and the Congress got sweeping majority in 6 out of 11 provinces and formed its ministries. In 1937, elections were held and the Congress had formed ministries in the United Provinces, Central Provinces, Odisha, Bihar, Madras and Bombay. This success disturbed the Muslim League, which did not perform well in elections. Relations between the Congress and the League became embittered. Embittered means frustrate, angry. Muslim League did not perform well in elections. Now the relations between the Congress and Muslims and Muslim League became unfriendly. Muhammad Ali Jinnah, the leader of the Muslim League, began to criticize the Congress for being partial and started propagating, means broadcasting, the two-nation theory, which went a long way in inciting, means encourage, communal feelings among the Muslims. The British government also gave encouragement to the League as a way to counter the growing popularity of the Congress. A change came in the attitude of the Muslim League and Jinnah after the elections of 1937 and formation of the Congress ministries in the provinces. Jinnah and the other leaders of the League proclaimed that the Muslims could not expect any justice at the hands of the Congress. So in 1940, the Muslim League passed a resolution demanding the partition of the country and the creation of a state called Pakistan. The British government also gave encouragement to the League as a way to protest the growing popularity of the Congress. This period also saw the parting ways between the Mahatma Gandhi and Subhash Chandra Bose. This was the period when there was parting between Mahatma Gandhi and Subhash Chandra Bose. In 1939, the Second World War broke out. The British government involved India in the war without consulting either the provincial or central legislatures. The Congress ministries resigned. The Muslim League under Jinnah, however, were happy with the resignation of the Congress and even celebrated it as a day of deliverance from the Congress rule. The Second World War broke out in September 1939. the British Government of India immediately joined the war without consulting the National Congress or the elected members of the Central Legislature. The Congress ministers resigned. The Muslim League was happy over the resignation of Congress ministries and offered its friendship to the British government. It celebrated the day when the Congress ministries resigned as a day of deliverance and thanksgiving. As the war situation worsened, the British needed the willing support of India. The new declaration of the British policy, known as the August Offer, was announced by the Viceroy, Lord Linlithgow, on 8 August 1940, but it failed to satisfy the Congress and the League. The international compulsion or the war situation forced the British government and the British India government to seek some settlement. On August 8, 1940, Lord Linlithgow, the Viceroy, made a new offer known as August Offer, but it failed to satisfy both the Congress and the League. Cripps mission of 1942 and its failure. To solve the constitutional problem, the British government sent Sir Stafford Cripps to India. He arrived in India on 22nd March 1942. He made the following proposals. Churchill announced in March 1942 that Sir Stafford Cripps, a member of the War Cabinet, would go to India for consultation with all the parties. The Cripps mission proposed the following constitutional reforms. Number 1. After the war, India would be given the same status as the other dominions, means semi-independent. Examples: Canada, Australia. India would be given a dominion status, means self-governing, like Canada, Australia, when the war would end. A constituent assembly would be set up after the war. This elected assembly would frame the constitution of free India. A constituent assembly would be set up. It would consist of the members elected by the lower house of the Indian legislature and the representatives of the princely states nominated by the rulers. It would be set up to draft a new constitution. It proposed that an interim government would be formed during the war. It also proposed that an interim government, means elected government formally or provincial government, would be formed during the war. Until the new constitution was framed, the government wanted Indian leaders to take effective part in the Viceroy's Executive Council. The provinces would be free to join the Indian Union. If they would not join the Indian Federation, they would formulate their own constitution which could have the same status as the Union of India. Only the defense of India would remain under the control of the British government. The control and the direction of the defense of India would be the responsibility of His Majesty's government. Failure rejection of proposals. The proposals, means plan or project, disappointed both the Congress and the Muslim League. Gandhiji rejected it as a post-dated check. The Muslim League rejected it as it felt the prospects of achieving Pakistan were remote. It demanded a definite pronouncement, means announcement, in favor of Pakistan. The proposal disappointed both the Congress and the Muslim League. The Congress was opposed to the principle of non-accession of the provinces. Gandhiji opposed the declaration and urged the working committee to reject it. Mahatma Gandhi described the Cripps proposal as post-dated check on a failing bank. The League opposed the creation of a single union. The proposals did not accept Pakistan specifically. They did not grant the right of self-determination to Muslims. The Quit India movement and the rising of 1942. Reasons for launching the Quit India movement. The Quit India movement started in 1942. The reasons for starting the same were the following. The Cripps mission, March 1942, failed to solve the constitutional problem of India. It led to discontent, dissatisfaction and anger. Indian people were filled with distrust and hostility, means ill feeling, towards the British. The failure of the mission had deprived the leaders of the opportunity to cooperate fully in war efforts. The Quit India started in 1942. The reason for starting the same were the following. The failure of the Cripps mission led to the dissatisfaction and anger among the Indians. The Indian people were filled with distrust and anger towards the Britishers and also deprived the leaders to cooperate fully in war efforts. Number 2. The war situation worsened the summer of 1942. Japan was rapidly advancing towards India and there was a growing threat of Japanese invasion, means conquering on India. The Congress leaders were of the view that to save India from the Japanese attack, it is necessary that the British withdrew from India. The responsibility of the Japanese attack on India lay on the British because the English were the rulers of the India. Indians were anxious to save their country, but their slavery was a great hindrance in their way. So they decided to launch a movement calling upon the British to hand over power to the Indians and quit the country. The war situation was discouraging in 1942. The Japanese army had attacked Burma and was marching towards Assam. The Indian leaders were anxious to save their country from the Japanese invasion, but their slavery was a hindrance. Gandhiji and other leaders were convinced that this situation called for complete independence from the British immediately. So they decided to launch a movement calling upon the British to quit India. Gandhiji firmly believed that an orderly and peaceful withdrawal of the British can save India from internal anarchy, means lawlessness, and foreign aggression, means feeling of anger. Gandhiji believed that peacefully withdrawal of the Britishers can save India from foreign aggression. Gandhiji believed that the presence of the British in India was an invitation to Japan to invade India. He asked the British to quit India. Spread of the Quit India movement, government's reaction to it and its repression. A meeting of the All India Congress Committee AICC was held at Bombay on August 8, 1942. It passed the famous Quit India resolution. It authorized Gandhiji to launch the Quit India movement against the British on non-violent lines on the widest possible scale. Gandhiji raised the slogan, "Do or Die," and declared that it would be his final struggle for the freedom of the country. In his own words, "I am not going to be satisfied with anything short of complete freedom. We shall do or die. We shall either free India or die in the attempt." The official machinery moved with the lightning speed and arrested Gandhiji and other leaders of the Congress in the early hours of the morning of August 9, 1942. A large number of congressmen were also put behind the bars. The government declared the Congress illegal and banned all its activities. The funds of the Congress were confiscated, means seized. The All India Congress Committee met at Bombay on August 8, 1942 and passed the Quit India resolution adopted at Wardha in July 1942. The Congress proposed to start a non-violent mass struggle under Gandhiji's leadership. If this demand of immediate and complete independence was not conceded by the British, in his speech before the All India Congress Committee, Gandhiji declared that it was a decision to do or die. Before the Congress could start the movement, the government struck hard. Early in the morning of August 9, 1942, Gandhiji and other leaders were arrested and taken to unknown destination, and the Congress was once again declared illegal and banned all its activities. In short, everywhere government repression was very harsh and a police state was established to deal with the danger which constituted the gravest danger to the British rule since the rebellion of 1857. Michael Brecher. According to Michael Brecher, government used harsh methods to suppress the movement. The government adopted repressive policy to deal with the danger which they had seen during the revolt of 1857. The news of the arrest of Gandhiji and other Congress leaders spread like a wildfire. The people started the Quit India movement over the whole of the country. The people were leaderless, unorganized, unprepared, and undirected. So the movement assumed a violent turn. They observed hartals and took out processions and organized demonstrations. Public life came to a standstill and all business was suspended. People became violent and burned post offices, telegraph offices, police stations, railway stations, and other government buildings. They cut off telegraph, telephone, and electric lines. Bridges were blown up and roads were dug up. They shot down notorious police officers and hurled, means throw, bombs upon them. The movement became a popular upsurge, means increase, and the whole country rose to overthrow the British rule. It was the last mass uprising against the British rule in India. The news of the arrest of Gandhiji and other Congress leaders spread like wildfire. All over the country there were strikes and demonstrations. People attacked the symbols of British authority, the police stations, post offices, railway stations, etc. Bridges were blown up and roads were dug up. They kept the movement alive despite the government's repressive measures. It was the last mass uprising against the British rule in India. There was much tension and the government got alarmed and became nervous. It adopted a repressive policy to suppress. Suppress means forcibly put an end the movement. Thousands of people were imprisoned without trial. The under trials means accused were tortured. Lathi charge, firing, beating and flogging. Flogging means beating became the order of the day. Women were insulted and humiliated. Children were beaten mercilessly. Many villages were looted and burned. Collective fines were also imposed. By using repressive measures, the government ultimately succeeded in crushing the movement within a few weeks. The revolt was short-lived but very intensive. About 10,000 people died in firing and about 70,000 people were put behind the bars. Such wide-scale and intensive repression had not been seen in India since the rising of 1857. The government resorted to severe measures to crush the 1942 movement. The press was completely muzzled. The demonstrating crowds were machine gunned and even bombed from the air. Prisoners were tortured. The police and secret police reigned supreme. Nearly 10,000 people were killed and 70,000 people were arrested by the end of 1942. Women were humiliated, children were beaten mercilessly. By using repressive measures, the government ultimately succeeded in crushing the movement within a week. India had not witnessed such intense repression since the First World War of Independence, 1857. Thank you.